There are literally thousands of synthetic chemicals that are linked to every disease imaginable that are in your home, in your kids' schools, and in your neighborhoods. Now, you're just trying to live a normal life, and you don't have time to keep up with all the science. But in the meantime, you're being poisoned. Let's take a look at what you must watch out for. But before we get started, I'm Dr. Zyrowski, and I started my holistic health practice to help you take control of your health naturally, because true health only comes naturally. From the time you're born, it's estimated that over 200 different chemicals course through your veins. You breathe chemicals, you ingest chemicals, and you absorb chemicals. You know, there used to be a time when home was the safest place on earth, but that's just not the case anymore. My brother-in-law, at a very young age, developed Crohn's disease. Now, if you're not familiar with what Crohn's disease is, it's a disease of the colon that's considered to be irreversible. Now, doctors told him that he would eventually have to get parts of his colon removed, and he would also probably not live a very long life just due to the severity of his condition. I remember when he would have these flare-ups. When he had these flare-ups, he'd be bedridden for about a week, and he'd probably lose about 10 pounds in the process. He was the type of guy who didn't have 10 pounds to lose, but this kept happening. As I advanced in my studies of natural health, there was an issue I saw in him that was abundantly clear. It was that he had 8 silver fillings in his mouth. These are the silver fillings that dentists put in your teeth in order to fill cavities. Why is this such an issue, you might ask? It's a major issue because this mercury is considered to be the second most toxic element on Earth. There's over 4,000 research papers out there that state mercury is a highly toxic substance that shouldn't be in the body. Yet they're placed in the teeth just inches from your brain, constantly leaching this mercury vapor into your body, into your organ systems, making you sick. What the research shows is that the more amalgam fillings that you have, the more mercury that you have in your body, lodged in your kidneys, your heart, your liver, your colon, and even your brain. This mercury has no place in the body. What my brother-in-law did is he got all these mercury fillings removed by a biosafe dentist. He went through a full detoxification process to get the mercury from his body. He changed up his diet. Today, he's Crohn's free, which doctors told him was not possible. When my wife and I first started our journey to better health, we not only focused on the foods that we're eating, but we also focused on how we were preparing foods, how we were storing foods. We stored foods in plastic containers. We drank from plastic cups. We cooked with plastic utensils. We had plastic everything in our kitchen. Sure, plastics have made our lives easier in most cases. However, it has come with consequences. It's estimated that the average person takes in about 210 micrograms daily of cancer-causing, hormone-disrupting chemicals called phthalates. These phthalates are causing problems in both men and women alike, specifically estrogen dominance. This is related to emotional issues. It's causing things like fibroid and ovarian cysts, and it's estimated to be one of the leading causes of reproductive cancers in women. Plastics also contain something called BPA. You may have heard of this one. BPA has been studied for its low dose effect and long-term consequences. Scientists have recognized that BPA in this type of plastic causes issues with cell function and also causes cancer in low doses. The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention found that 95% of people in a study of 394 individuals had measurable levels of BPA found in their urine. So here's what you need to do. You have to ditch the toxic plastic, switch to glass, stainless steel, or even ceramic. Get these items out of your kitchen so they're not poisoning your food, poisoning your beverages, and ultimately poisoning you. For my wife and I, one of the most frustrating parts about creating a toxic-free environment was learning that pretty much everything we had in our home was loaded with chemicals. And the worst part is that we were just covering our bodies in them every single day. You're probably thinking to yourself, well, that's not me, I don't do that. But according to recent estimations, children and infants have about 3 personal care products applied to them every single day. It's estimated that women have about 13 that they apply to themselves, and men have about 10 personal care products they use daily. It's also estimated for women that you put over 200 chemicals on your body before even leaving the house in the morning as part of your beauty regimen. These chemicals are linked to cancer, hormone disruption, they're linked to skin issues, and also linked to allergies. Now, 10 years ago, my wife and I, we had to shop at like 3 to 4 different stores in order to find all the natural personal care products that we needed. The good news is today is you can pretty much find them at any local store. Don't let these toxic personal care products destroy your health. Your body can only take so many chemical exposures, and then eventually you reach that tipping point and disease starts to present itself. It would seem that covering yourself with toxic chemicals has to be the worst, but there's more. Recently, my family and I, we were traveling and we stayed at a friend's house. And while we were there, we decided we're gonna get dinner going, so what it required is to get a pot of boiling water on the stove. And the pot of water that we were about to cook our food in smelled like a big pool. You could tell it was loaded with chlorine. The Environmental Working Group, also known as the EWG, produced a drinking water quality report. They looked at over 47,000 water utility stations around the United States and took over 20 million different samples. Here's what they concluded. They found that there was over 300 different chemical pollutants in the drinking water. Of these 300 chemical pollutants, half of them are completely unregulated and they were considered to be legal in any amount. According to an Associated Press investigation, there's a vast array of pharmaceuticals that are making its way into the drinking water of over 41 million Americans. In Philadelphia, officials found 56 different pharmaceuticals and pharmaceutical byproducts in the treated drinking water of the residents. Be sure to use proper filtration in order to remove contaminants so that you're getting good, pure drinking water. What I'll do too is in the description below, I'll put a link to my Toxic Top 10 ebook. There's an enormous amount of resources in there. My wife and I have been removing toxic exposures from our home and our lifestyle for the past 15 years. And so I'm sure you have a lot of questions. It'll give you a lot of answers, I promise. I know you all like a clean home. I have 4 little kids and my wife and I feel sometimes that that's just all we do. We just walk around cleaning all day because things get messy really quick. And that's why we have cleaning products for anything from the bathroom all the way to the kitchen. Due to an increased number of studies, most experts agree that these household chemicals pose a serious threat to your health and also the environment. Unfortunately, due to regulatory standards and also trade secret laws, most people have no clue how dangerous these cleaners are, these household chemicals that you're using every single day to your overall well-being. According to the U.S. National Research Council, there's no toxic information on 80% of the chemicals that people use every day in their homes. Less than 20% of them have actually been tested for their acute effects on the body, and less than 10% have been tested for their chronic effect, their reproductive impact that they could have on the body, and also even mutagenic effect. Now, I don't know about you, but I don't want to be somebody's test dummy. So I'm going to opt out of all that and I'm just going to use natural cleaning products in my home. Getting healthy isn't only about eating healthy, it's the whole package. To learn more about how to detox your body from these chemicals, watch this video right here. First thing that we have to do is we have to stop toxic entry, okay? So if we want to, pull toxins from our body, remove toxins from our body, we have to stop doing the same thing every single day that is putting all these toxins within us.